You dropped the acoustic guitar for this album. What was the reason for that?
I'm afraid it would have made things maybe a little archaic. I was feeling jazzy on this one, and not woodsy. It was a very water oriented record, and not earth. So I guess the only earth side is the Pine reference, but as far as the tone of what I wanted to hear and what came out of our jams that made the songs, it grew its own glow, and the record has a weird glow to it, and it did, to me, acoustic music would have put sewed cloth onto a spaceship or something.
Well, one of the things that really impressed me with this album was all the different ranges and tones, especially the bass. Was that you, or was it Brian, or who was really fiddling with the bass tones?
Me and Brian. And and a great engineer who actually, his beginning background was in dance music, so he knows when the bass is shaking your belly right, and just the team that did it, the way John hits his drums, the way they were recorded, and it made a glow, like you're kind of saying, you know what I mean? There is a variety of nods on the record, I think. Like really blatant little pieces of influence from everybody from Mahavishnu, obviously, to T-Rex, and just little nods to people, but still the way it panned out, I think, was cool.
I know that Jordy and Fred are doing DJ stuff out in LA, but what is the current status of Goon Moon?
Oh man, really, really freaking that, wanting to play, wanting to record, and getting schedules to line up to do it.
So it's just a scheduling thing right now, or well, you got the big tour coming up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if is he doing anything with A Perfect Circle now that they're back together?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I haven't heard that.
How did you get involved with doing the Belly Button song for Ren and Stimpy?
That was a lot of fun. Bob Camp, one of the creators of Ren and Stimpy, was a fan, and it was a phone call. I used to hang out at Exterminator Chili when we were in the 80s. Our manager ran a restaurant, and it was a great bar restaurant, and so we'd hang there, and Bob Camp hung there too, and it was a great scene. And then when he moved to LA, right around the time I did, so we kept in touch, and that's how that came about.
Did you watch the show?
Oh, of course. Yeah, especially with what's his name, man, Gilbert, or
Godfrey.
Yeah. And with him in it too, and I love him. So yeah, it was very cool.
How's the store going?
Which store?
You and your wife's store out in Joshua Tree.
Oh, okay. I know, it's like a list of web stores flashed through my head. Great. It's a great hobby. It's kind of like my release after the music business. I come home and drive around little towns all over the desert and look for stuff. And so it's really a cool thing to unwind with when I get back from doing whatever I'm doing.
Speaking of pottery, I didn't really peg you as a pottery guy.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with it. Really. Yeah, there's sometimes when you know, finding a new piece of pottery, I'd be more thrilled than hearing a song or something now. It's great because it's breakable, you know, and so it's preserving something that's pretty cool and very indicative of the era that it's from, you know, and whether arts and crafts era from the early century and Art Deco era, whatever the styles are, they really scream of the optimism of their era that they're from, and you know, like with pop art and from the 30s or from the 1906 through the 70s when it kind of went to hell. But anyway, every town used to have a potter around the country, and made different styles of pottery, and there different schools of pottery around America. A lot of it's gone now, and so we've got an obsession for finding cool pottery, and so we have a personal collection, and also have a small shop that we sell out of here. Yeah.
Do you make your own stuff, or is it just looking for whatever you can find?
No, I don't make my own. It's just it's not really that hand thrown kind of. It's not hippie pottery. It's more like, you know, from 30s deco to mid-century, and you know, crazy shapes and stuff. And it cheers me up to be around that stuff.
So no scenes reminiscent of Ghost?
What do you mean?
The movie with Patrick Swayze.
Oh, right.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So what did he break some pottery or something in it?
Oh, no, there was a terrific scene where he was a ghost and his love interest, well, he had died, and he came back, and there was this very sexual pottery-making scene.
I don't remember that. I don't remember. I've seen the movie, too. Well, you're talking to the Godfather Stoner Rock here.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I hope so.
I posted online after I knew that I was going to do the interview if anyone had questions. Most of them were kind of silly, but one popped into my inbox, and it was from Pete Stahl from the Earthlings, and he wants to know what pickups you use to get your sustain and tone. And I thought to myself, I don't think you two are strangers. Has he been hounding you for this, or is it just he just wants to know? Or
I just think you want to hear his name on the air. Hey, Pete, how you doing, buddy? Those guys put on one of the best things I've seen in a long time last week at Pappy and Harriet's. The Earthlings played outdoors, and this time of year, the desert is it's outrageously beautiful. The autumn starts, and that means really, really intense, weird nights, and gorgeous nights. And like, I'm watching a sunset right now. I'm sitting outside, and anyway, they played the show outdoors, and it was just gorgeous. You know, it rang for miles, and had, you know, great lighting, and they played great. It was, you know, repetitious riffs, heavy riffs with, you know, synthesizers swirling around in it, and you know, music you want to just shut your eyes to and sway to, and pretty intense. So yeah, it was lovely. And hey, Pete, love you. Anyway, the pickups are DiMarzio X2Ns. I've been using them for a long time. They're really loud pickups, and that's that, Pete.
Well, you know, we have the tour coming up, and most of my listeners do live on the East Coast, so I have to ask, is anything going to happen on the East Coast?
I'll know by the end of the week.
All right.
And check it out on, you know, we just made a leap, and for me anyway, of just handing over the web stuff to some good people and saying, look, yeah, you know, do it and make it so, you know, I can just, I'll give you some creative content, and but we're trying to make it a pretty special place, and it's growing, and I think it's looking pretty cool, and that's what I mean. It still also rings of the record, and this kind of thing that I don't know, the particular vibration we're putting out there right now. It's going to be consistent and based on that, and it's there for people to enjoy. So and feel something from it. I'm not sure what, but I hope they do, and so it'll continue for a while.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Goss, Masters of Reality, Goon Moon. I'll be keeping everyone in tune with tour dates and the whatnot. Chris, thank you very much for being on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you.